Hey, so guys, this is a safe space, right? Because I gotta admit something to y'all. I didn't I didn't race this one my best. If I'm being honest here. Here we are at another Thursday night Seward Park, and you can see that I am waiting, taking a free lap. I was caught behind a crash, and I had to put my foot down and got grass in it and could not get clipped back in very quickly, and so had to wait and take my free lap here. This crash also caused the break of the day to get away, and you'll see that break coming around the corner here in a second, and they have quite a large gap to the field. Um, and so this was the break of the day. You can see I have one teammate in it, and he is very outnumbered. We would have liked to have had more teammates in the breakaway, but unfortunately, that was just how the cookie crumbled today. And given how large you can see this gap is, it was going to be very, very difficult to try to chase it back, given that most of the other teams were represented. So we're going to talk a little bit about what to do in a situation where you expect the break to lap and kind of what not to do, really. Um, so let's skip ahead here. So we fast forwarded about 15 minutes here, and you can see I'm just sitting at the back here with my teammates. We are kind of now expecting the break to lap. We've been really crawling around this course. I think this is one of the slowest Sewards I've done when it's been dry in recent memory. But you want to be ready to help your teammate out when they come around if they lap the field. I know that there's sometimes some confusion about what the rules are here, but if the breakaway laps the field, then you are allowed to assist your teammates in the breakaway, although you will finish a lap down, and only the leaders, the people who have lapped, can contest for the win. But you may not drop off the back of the main field to assist them, so we have to just kind of sit here and wait for them to lap. There hasn't been that much of an organized chase, although I see that they're starting to assemble something up there. There was one or two teams that missed it. I believe Fount and Keller Rohrbach both missed the break, so they will chase for a little bit, and but I'm just kind of tail gunning here, just chilling, waiting to see. The gap had come out to about a minute really quickly, and then had sort of stabilized there as I think the break had slowed down a bit, and also as this pace had picked up a little bit, as you see it's starting to do here. And here we've jumped ahead a little bit, and that organized chase has continued a little bit. But the gap had come in a little bit to the break, so I was beginning to worry a little bit that we might get into a distance that was bridgeable, and I would want to be up here to react in case somebody tried to send riders across to that gap. But you can see that Fount in the dark green jersey and Keller Rohrbach in the white jerseys with the yellow highlighter accents on them are chasing, and I think this is a good illustration of what it looks like to sort of sit in when your teammate is in the break, when you're not going to participate in the chase. When the chase is on, I think you should the fair thing to do is to just sit on the back of the chasing train. Don't offer any assistance, don't get in the way, just let them do their thing, and that's what's fair when there's an organized chase like this. So they're rotating smoothly, we're not getting in the way. I'm sitting on the back of a couple other riders who aren't participating, but there's 3 or 4 riders up there who are rotating smoothly, and we allow that to continue as long as they wish to. Now we skip ahead by way of contrast to about 8 minutes from the end. I'm actually starting to get a little worried that the break isn't going to lap, which would be worse for us because Brian is so outnumbered in the break. We can't assist him in any way there, but we can if he laps and makes it back up to us. We can help out a little bit. But the chase is off now. Like, the chasers have given up. We've seen some attacks from people who are maybe trying to sort of sit in no man's land to the finish. you know, there's no one organized on the front. All these people are of teams that have riders in the break, aren't chasing. And we start to see some attacks and you know, surges, and everyone's trying to, and looking at each other. And at which point I think it's totally fair game to sort of try some delaying tactics like what you'll see me do here in a second. Basically, all I'm going to do here is just get to the front right as we go into this sharp hairpin corner, and I'm just going to take it pretty slow. I'm not going to brake check anybody. I'm not doing anything dangerous here, but I am just like not under an obligation to rip it, and you can see I'm down to like 17, 18 miles an hour, and yeah, everyone, it's totally, you know, not endangering anyone, but just, you know, keeping the pace low, and it makes people not really want to keep the chase on, and hopefully it helps the brake catch up to us. I'm beginning to think that they won't, though, so I'm sort of like hanging out here, and this is where the real blunders that I was alluding to earlier in the video start to happen. So we're not even a full lap later, and we're coming into what will be 3 to go, and I think we at this point have basically thought that maybe the brake wasn't gonna lap, and we should just set up for a field sprint for one of our guys, just because like we're here, we might as well. You know, we paid our money. We've got nothing better to do. We come through this corner again, and out of the corner of my eye as we accelerate down the hill, it might not even be visible in the rear camera yet, really, I see the brake. I see the front of the brake starting to come towards us.
Alex! Brian! Drop back! Wyatt! Brian!
As you can hear, I am both hooting and hollering. If you are lapping the field, or you have a teammate in the brake that's lapping the field, it is vitally important to get them to the front of the field as soon as possible, because the number one strategy, if you're lapping the field, is just to attack straight through, especially for those teams that have bigger numbers. So I'm in like full-blown panic mode.
They're coming. We gotta help Brian. They're lapping us. Alex, get that!
And here you can see the beginnings of the brake passing through the field, starting to attack us, and I'm telling Alex at the front to make sure to keep it stitched together here, but it's very chaotic. I'm looking for Brian. I don't know where he is. But yeah, this is more of the brake kind of streaming through on my left. I'm looking. I don't know where Brian is. And that's teammate Spencer there, and then finally we find him. They blow right by me. I'm in like a weird position behind them, being not helpful at all, just kind of sitting here, so trying to get back up there. Then I just kind of don't like do a good job moving up here very well, and though I did not preload this excuse, I will note that my seat clamp had slipped a little bit, so my seat was a little low, so maybe that was affecting my cornering, I'd like to think. But, you know, so I'm just woefully out of position here, and then there's a gap, and I gotta close that down, and then, I don't know where our other teammate Ryan is, but at this point, I'm just really worried about, like, how far we are from the front. I'm worried that some Premier guy who lapped, or when Premier and Coalition who lapped, will get off the front here, and we just like won't even know or be able to close that quickly enough, or like help Brian close it. So I'm really concerned about that. I'm trying to get Brian lined up. I'm too busy like yelling at people and telling people what to do to actually be of any help myself, apparently.
Alex, get in front of Brian! Get up to the front, Spencer!
here would have been a perfectly great opportunity to get in the front of the train and try to, be of some use, but alas, here I am, sitting on, watching, yelling. And those observant among you will have heard the bell sound, and yes, that is the final lap, and no, I do not seem to be particularly aware that it will be much harder to move up after that and be of any use. So I will just sit here behind Brian.
Go! 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 Center down!
And yes, I am still yelling, and I am correct here. It is important for us to go now, but it would have been much, much more correct for me to have been on the front yelling now and also sprinting and being of some help, but instead I am just here hooting and hollering. But my rather embarrassing armchair ride in this crit aside, Brian did a pretty monster ride in that break, and through the help of Alex and Spencer was able to get 6th place out of, I think, like a 10 or 12-man break that had a lot of teammates in it that weren't his, and scored some points in the series. So that was a really amazing ride from them. Not so much for me, but hopefully we can all learn a little bit from my performance in this race, myself included.